The first and probably most important of all the art elements that we're going to talk about is line. Line is really the most basic art element there is. It's as simple as picking up any kind of implement that can make any kind of a mark and just simply dragging it across a surface. So a line is a long mark or stroke that's created by a tool. A line, by definition, is significantly longer than it is wide. Okay, so a line, it can be thick or thin, but by definition, it has to be long. A line is sometimes regarded as the shortest distance between two paths. I have some other definitions of that I'd rather put forward for that. But in terms of geometry, that is certainly how it is considered. It is the most crucial because it can be used to create shape. It can be used to create value, texture. It can create movement through space. Our eyes tend to follow lines. It is the first process of drawing that anyone ever does when they are a small child. Probably before you can remember, somebody handed you a crayon and the first thing you did was start drawing around and making lines. And guess what? That's art. Okay, I'd like to show you a few different types of lines. Outlines is when a line just goes around the perimeter of an object, whereas contour lines can go define edges that are inside of forms. Lines draw our eyes. Okay, so when I say lines can be directional, I mean that these lines are drawing our eye right to that center point. You can scribble a whole lot of little tiny lines over top one another to create a texture or a pattern. You can see also how nicely the artist created the texture of the almond. That's not an almond, that's an acorn. Texture of the acorn on this drawing right here. Lines can lead your eye into deep space. We do follow lines with our eyes. So when you look at this picture of the road, our eye is taken just right back into the distance. Lines have quality. They can be thick, they can be thin, they can be curly, they can be straight, they can be jagged, they can be knotted, they can be wavy, they can be zigzaggy, and every one has a different personality. So I'm just going to show you the work of a few artists who use line in their work. This is an early 2nd century Iron Age belt buckle that has been decorated with a linear motif. So you can see all different kinds, dashed lines, S-curved lines, lines to create circles. This painting by Paul Klee also relies very heavily on line to create an abstraction, which most of us think have a kind of tree-like or figure-like form. Pete Mondrian, who you'll see some of his work in some of the videos you're going to watch this week, he used nothing but perfectly straight, horizontal, and vertical lines. He did not use any kind of aid. These are all hand drawn and hand painted. This might look like it was done on the computer, but if you'll notice, it was painted in 1904. Only horizontal lines, only vertical lines, and only primary colors with Mondrian. And then finally, I'd like you to look at a piece by Vasily Kandinsky, who, as you can see, used a lot of line in his abstraction. And I just want to leave you with this one to take a look at it for a little while and tell me, or you can send me an email if you like, tell me what you see. Do you see any forms, or do you just see feelings? Let me know. Enjoy.